Hey, I'm back. When reading the product description for the Kizer Tactical Sheepdog on Blade HQ's website, sorry, it's just called the Kizer Sheepdog, it says, and I quote, "This knife offers a remarkable combination of tactical functionality and a refined, stylish appearance. Tactical, suck it. Tactical." I'm not going to lie, I actually went and reread the whole fighting knife Wikipedia entry and the tactical knife subheading at the bottom to see how, as a society, we've arrived at the point where any knife is tactical, even pretty social media made knives. It looks like any locking knife can be tactical, should they choose to accept the mission. So as a discussion point, even though cleaver-style blades are used primarily to slowly process animal carcasses or human carcasses if you're a serial killer, is it still tactical? The word carcass, of course, implies that you're using a knife on something that's already dead. I wonder, did Blade HQ just add the word tactical to appear in searches of tactical knives? While we think about that, let's look at the dimensions, like the overall length and weight. Might I suggest to Blade HQ to add the word Juggalo, since cleavers are the official ICP knife? Blade length and cutting edge. Also, aren't cleavers more effective at chopping when they have a heavy blade? I'm not a knife expert. Handle size and grip area. I don't know, I guess I'm not a butcher either. Spine thickness and handle thickness. You're like, oh, you're not really much of a knife reviewer either. Well, then you're a tactical juggalo. How about that? And tallness closed and flipper protrusion. And you're like, well, at least I'm not a knife channel that argues with itself. Or himself. The Sheepdog, which is a collaboration between Chris Conway from Sheepdog Knives and Kizer Knives from China, was made presumably to bring a $750 custom knife to the masses at a very reasonable $210 through value labor. This knife has a sheep's foot style blade that slightly resembles a cleaver. A cleaver, of course, is a large blade, heavy knife that emphasizes chopping over cutting, and tactical. So I guess you could chop with this. I mean, I wouldn't, but I guess you could. Okay, I probably would. But since that chopping functionality is greatly reduced by the blade being small and lighter, I guess it's mostly cardboard and string and maybe vegetables. I mean, you paid $200 for it. It wasn't a waste of money, was it? The stonewashed blade is made from the wear-resistant S35VN stainless steel with a flat grind, so hooray, say the steel snobs. If you realize that Chris Reeve makes her tolerant heavy knives out of titanium and uses S35VN, you're getting a bargain. However, if you also realize that Cold Steel is switching over to S35VN in its knives instead of CTS XHP without a change in the MSRP, oh my god, the acronyms, well, I mean, I'm sure that money goes somewhere. And a CRK fan says, most sub $200 Cold Steels don't have titanium, idiot. The blade is of course deployed by a flipper and pivots on a smooth as silk ball bearing system. The blade is not long but tall and flies out of the handle with minimal effort. It's easy deploying, and blade centering is okay. However, it must be noted this knife was donated to the channel secondhand by Instagrammer Broken Spear 91. So maybe he did some dumb shit with it before I got it. Probably not, but I have to add that caveat. Also, give him a follow if you're not a jerk, or give him a follow even if you are a jerk, because he's awesome. The lockup is handled by a frame lock with a, quote, replaceable hardened steel lock bar insert to toughen up the part where the blade, tang, and the lock meet. The lock is easy to disengage, and the locker area is smooth, so it isn't fatiguing if you're a fidgeter, as is the flipper tab, which is very smooth. The blade has a good detent, however, it is possible to fling it downward with the right kind of wrist action to get it to open without the flipper. The handle is an open back design and made from two pieces of titanium that are blue in color and smooth. I know, not purple, right? The handle is pretty ergonomic and the contours are pretty smooth and fit my hand nicely. But at north of 6 ounces with a 3-inch cutting edge, well, it ain't pocket light. The pocket clip gives you only one option, a bit more friendly to right-handed people. Blade backward, tip up in the right pocket. By friendly to righties, I mean for quick deployment. When you pull it out of your pocket, your deployment finger is already in position to deploy. However, since I mainly pocket carry on an interior pocket rather than a pants pocket, it's more of a theory than a practice for me. And since this knife is heavy for an interior jacket pocket, I don't carry it often. The clip, while being a machined titanium clip, is actually really nice. It slides in the pocket smoothly and is removed easily, all while maintaining enough tension to stay in there. Alright, comparison time. First up is the purple knife. Titanium purple with the Chinese D2. With a shout out to Knife Nuts Podcast and their amusing D2 steel shirt. That makes me laugh every time it pops up on my Instagram feed. This knife, the purple knife, is much lighter and has a much longer blade. Basically, functionality is better. However, it has a slightly suckier pocket clip. Now another purple knife, the Paramilitary 2. Blurple. Longer blade, pointier, also a fast deployer. Comfortable handle, a lighter knife. I prefer this to the Kizer Sheepdog. There's nothing inherently wrong with the Sheepdog, it's just I don't find as much utility in the blade since it ain't as pointy and stabby, and it's too heavy for my preference of carry. Now the Lion Steel SR11A, similar in weight and proportions to the Sheepdog. I think it's a little lighter. I don't carry it often either, but it's a smooth deployer. Now the Spyderco Yojimbo 2. Yojimbo. Ever see that movie? It's pretty good. A much stabbier version of a sheep's foot, or rather, Warncliffe style blade. It has no curve on the belly, just a straight edge, and it's said to be more of a self-defense blade, which must be a lonely world for a knife to live. I like it, but don't carry it often. I think because it's a little too flashy to whip out in front of other people. Okay, Fiend. The Sheepdog ain't a bad knife. I like it. I like to fidget with it. I like to take Instagram pictures with it. But because it's heavy and it has low piercing power, it's not something I'd carry. I have plenty of knives I like more that I also don't carry because I'm stupid. But as Instagram teaches us, a lot of people carry knives as an accessory versus a utility item. Which reminds me, you should really follow me on Instagram as well as Broken Spear 91, who provide this for review. You'd really be doing yourself a disservice if you like this knife. You're like, I'm sorry, man, I really don't do Instagram. Well, that's not my problem, is it? If you like this knife and Instagram-style light-use knives in general, like this video, leave a comment. Please subscribe to me here and on Instagram. I'm begging you. And thanks to all of you for your kind words about my dad on the last video and all the nice private and public messages I got on Instagram wishing me well. They mean a lot. Thanks for watching.